Let's take a look at VP-elect Bi-khim Hsiao. She's just finished a tour of Europe, meeting with parliamentary leaders in the Czech Republic, Poland and Lithuania. She also engaged with more than 30 lawmakers in the European Parliament in Brussels. According to Taiwan's foreign ministry, Hsiao emphasized Taipei's democratic alliance with European countries. Charles, what would you say were the strategic goals of this trip, and how can we see this strategy in light of perhaps the unstable frontier argument?
Okay, I think this time Hsiao visits. This is the first time Taiwan's vice president-elect to visit Europe before taking offices. So I think it's a very important landmark we achieved. She visited Czech Republic, Poland, and Lithuania. And those three countries helped us a lot. They donated vaccines to Taiwan during the pandemic. So it's our friends. So I think this kind of mutual benefits, and also the visit can increase the friendship between Taiwan and European countries. This is first thing. Second thing is we're all democratic countries. We share similar values. We are talking about why democracy, they are more likely to make alliances because they, like I say, they are like-minded. They commit to all the agreements or contract they want to, they sign. And also they share similar, we call the democratic peace.
So as we're talking about frontiers, does it matter where they are?
Yes.
Is this important?
Yes, important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about them in terms of the frontier.
Yes, yes, very important. So they are also frontier, but they are just frontier in the European sides.
Right.
However, we are in the Asia side, Asia Pacific.
So against the Russian expansionism.
Yeah, we're against the expansion of authoritarianism. So I think this kind of not only practical but also symbolic missions, we can establish this kind of relationship with European countries.
Okay. Professor Yuan, so what are the implications of Taiwan, one frontier state in Asia, going to secure, cement relations with the frontier in Europe?
The Baltic states, those who are the small but sit at the forefront to confront with the USSR during the Hades Cold War era. So there is a strong legacy carried through by this very, very important elements. So the common element between those small states and also reckon with the Taiwanese position vis-a-vis of that Cold War era role.
Now, Japan is mulling upgrades to 5 airports and 11 ports for use during military emergencies, including a potential Taiwan contingency, according to the Mainichi Shimbun. Those included are Kitakyushu Airport off Kyushu, Naha Airport in Okinawa, the port of Kushiro in Hokkaido, and the port of Ishigaki in Okinawa, which is about 230 kilometers east of Taiwan. So, Charles, let me come to you. Japan is to Taiwan, this is what some people say, as Poland is to Ukraine. In your view, is Japan part of this frontier that Taiwan is also part of?
Yeah, I think the comparison between Japan and Poland is interesting. I think compare their status, their symbols, or even compare the security alignments, it's pretty similar. U.S. and Japan, I think, is a very strong and stable defensive alliance, which means they are we call a base, a security base for the East Asia securities. Right now, we can see U.S. and Japan, they are strengthening their kind of security agreements. Also, they want to bring Philippines into the game. So it's a 3 ways security agreements. Then why? We need to look at because there are probably a potential conflicts occur in this region. Not only East China Sea, but South China Sea will be a potential conflicts zone. I don't know when, but probably in the future. Because if you look at the Second Thomas Show, the issues, and also the Sandy K issues recently, there will be, I can say, a little bit dangerous in the coming next few months if Philippines and China, they don't know how to hold the fire. So I think Japanese government, Kishida, they are watching this one. United States also watching these issues. Marcos Jr. also, I think he knows how to handle. He just want, play around the games a little bit. Why he want to bring Japan and United States together, try to, using this kind of we call foreign policy to strengthen his own reputation and also political survival in Philippines.
Yeah, Professor Yuan, you mentioned this earlier, perhaps most controversially. In the Grigil vs. Mitchell article, they argue that the value of frontier allies is that they create the potential for striking beyond the frontier line on the territory of the predator state itself. And then, because of this logic, what they're saying is that the frontier state should be armed heavily in order that they can actually strike the enemy territory. Now, this, of course, goes counter to the US's thinking and approach for both Ukraine and Taiwan.
There's a degrees of variation when it comes to offensive capability or versus defensive. And the nature of this posture evolve in accordance with the contingency. I think what matters the most for the United States strategists, they would rather to put some limits on the role to be played by this allies, whereas they reserve the room for more warfighting capability to itself. So there's a clear demarcation when it comes to the military postures.
Okay, but it's interesting, Japan, isn't it? They're about to purchase the Tomahawk missiles. As we also know in recent news, it's not coming from the US, but the Philippines is purchasing BrahMos cruise missiles. Taiwan obviously is developing its own because it cannot get those offensive missiles from the US. So in what we can actually see is in practice, these frontiers are hardening, aren't they? They are reinforcing. They are gaining the offensive capability.
Tactical wise, yes, but one has also be mindful about the items that Taiwan could get it. All right, I think it's a problematic. Each time we discuss about what kind of a weaponry system would be more suitable for Taiwanese defense. So overall, one still have to come back with the overall posture. That is, since Taiwan sits on the forefront of its geography, so Taiwan should face in earnest as its determination to coping with its challenges, regardless of what kind of a nature of the weaponry they could acquire abroad.